What are we talking about today? Something a little bit different. Tawny Port, otherwise known as a fortified wine. I want to talk about this, and I'm going to be really quick. This is going to be like 2 minutes in the box when you get a penalty for high sticking in a game of hockey.
You go to the box, 2 minutes by yourself, and you feel shame.
Anyway, I want to talk about this quickly because port is something that doesn't get talked about a lot, but yet it is hella good, and I think everybody should try some or have some on hand every once in a while for trying out. Especially something I tried recently, putting a little bit of this in French onion soup. Oh, amazing. So good. I mean, French onion soup's good to begin with, but putting a little bit of this in there just takes it to that next level. So, Kirkland Tawny Port, 10 years old. I really wanted to try this out because I'm a big fan of Graham's Tawny Port, whether it be the 10-year-old or the, is it 20 or 30? They've got a whole bunch of different age statements for Graham's, and that stuff is unbelievable, so I really wanted to see what this was like. I meant to have a little bit left over and to drink it here on this video, but alas, it was too good. I couldn't keep it around long enough, so I drank it, so I'm just going to go for memory. Again, this is Kirkland Signature. This is the Costco special. I picked this up in Alberta. And it says, this is an opulent tawny port full of delicious flavors of nuts, caramel, and dried fruit with enticing notes of ripe oranges. It's an excellent dessert wine and a satisfying way to finish a meal. Product of Portugal, 20% alcohol, and this is a 750 ml bottle. Like it says, delicious flavors of nuts, caramel, and dried fruit. That's just like the Graham's. Really, really rich flavor. I know the first time I ever had a tawny port, I didn't, or port in general, I didn't really realize what it was. I thought it was almost like a whiskey because the one I had, I think it was a Graham's 30-year-old. Talk about what an introduction to the type of drink, hey, when you're having a 30-year-old Graham's port. It had this beautiful dark caramel color, almost like a really expensive, like a 25-year-old scotch, but yet it tasted so much smoother, and like I had no idea what this stuff even was. And then when I started to find out that it was a wine, I was like, man, this is just like unbelievable. So it's a really nice thing to have every once in a while. The only thing though with ports, if you don't know, once you open the bottle, you're really only supposed to have it for a week or two. So you should consume it either the day you open it or within a number of days. It says on the back here, just for your own knowledge, the world-renowned winemaking team at Fornska Guermarens, have drawn upon a reserve of rich and mellow wines to blend this sumptuous tawny port, which has been aged for 10 years in old oak casks. Unlike vintage ports, tawny ports do not deposit sediment and remain stable in the bottle. It is ready for immediate drinking and does not require further aging in the bottle. So those, what it's talking about vintage ports, those are the ones with that little bit of white paint on the bottle that you're supposed to keep one side up, and you're not supposed to shake it because if you do, the sediment's going to get all over in the wine and it's going to be kind of nasty to drink. Cole's notes basically on this is just as good as a Graham's port. I was blown away by like the nice and nutty flavors of this and the dried fruit. Really, when it says nuts, caramel, and dried fruit, that's exactly what it is. Almost even more so than the nuts and the caramel. Really, really nice. This is actually in color. It's like a really deep red, almost like a deep Bordeaux. It's not like a Graham's, which is more of like that rusty brick or that brown color, which again is why I thought it was a whiskey when I was younger and the first time I ever had it. So this is, I think there might be just a little bit left in the bottle. Let me see here. Here, I can pour it out. No, not enough for you to be able to tell. But yeah, it's a very good wine. I'm going to see what this tastes like because this is probably a couple weeks old already after I opened it. Still tastes good. Probably would have been fine if there was any left, but again, this is too good, so there was none left. I highly recommend the Kirkland Tawny Port. I definitely think if you're into the fortified or dessert wines, you will not be disappointed. I almost like this more than ice wine because ice wines, if you ever had those, they're just way too sweet. This, really nice. I definitely recommend this. If you can find some, pick one up. I do not think you will be disappointed. Kirkland 10-year-old Tawny Port. Give it a go. How am I for that counter? Probably, what, about 5 minutes? Oh, 5 minutes, 7 seconds exactly. Talk about a major for high sticking. Some guy's bleeding, knocked his teeth out.